Fife Flyers TV, sponsored by the Bay Hotel, Fife's premier wedding venue.
I thought it was quite an entertaining game to watch for probably neutrals, but maybe not a comfortable spectacle for you.
No, I mean, I think our offense bailed us out tonight, and there's been certainly no doubt that we have an abundance of that. But, you know, I felt we were quite loose at times tonight. Other times, fantastic. First period, I thought we sorted out in the D zone well. Guys were moving their feet. Didn't look in a ton of trouble in that first period, you know, other than spotting them a couple power play goals, which was disappointing because I thought that we carried the flow of the game. They had a big pushback in the second period, and we found ourselves under a bit of pressure. But we weathered it well. They had a couple quality chances, but, you know, so did we. You know, imagine that they'll feel that they left a few out there tonight, but there were certainly chances where we countered well, and there was 3 or 4 chances that I felt could have gone into it. So we're going to want to tighten up against this Guildford team tomorrow. It's a long trip for the guys, but we're going to need to be better tomorrow to bring the points back home.
You mentioned it also disappointing to lose the 2 goals, but there was quite a bit of resilience in the team to bounce back quite after it as well.
No, absolutely. I thought that scoring right off the back of those 2 goals really gave the team life back, because they were a bit down. As you can imagine, if you're feeling that you're firmly in control of a game, and you know, I got to give credit to Coventry. Every time they were on the power play tonight, they looked dangerous. Their power play looks great. We thought that we'd certainly sorted ours out because early on we looked dangerous, and then it got very static again and standing around. So, you know, it's something that it's a work in progress, and we're going to continue working on it, because with the amount of offense we have and the amount of capable guys, we should be better in that category. Although, you know, it'll come, and certainly we're making up for it on 5-on-5 play.
I think it was maybe goals 3 and 4. I mean, they were actually quite good goals in terms of team play. So that's something that was straight off the training grounds. You recognise some of the goals.
Absolutely, and you know, sometimes you have to tailor things around the bunch you have. And you know, I have absolutely no problem allowing this group to explore their game offensively, but not at the expense of strong, solid defense. And certainly last weekend we saw that against Nottingham. I thought it was an all-around solid performance. Tonight, offensively, as I said earlier, I have no complaints, but defensively at times, absolutely fantastic. Adam didn't look any trouble, but you know, Coventry are a talented side, and you can see when they had their feet moving and they were moving the puck around quick. You know, we had to expend a lot of energy making sure that we had sorted it out. For the most part, they did it well tonight. So
I'd probably say Coventry's best spell of the game was around about the first 10-15 minutes in the second period. It seemed, again, as you say, seemed to weather that storm pretty well.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I think that that's a testament to, you know, not only our goaltender, but you know, I think that we really like the group of guys we have in playing defense this year. I think they seem, you know, quite composed most times, and they don't run around and jump from problem to problem or pass their problems off on anybody else. They solve the problems quickly, and they seem to be working as a group, and you know, it's an enjoyable group to work with.
You seem quite settled now in terms of what combination of players you're playing in certain lines now as well, these first 3 weeks of the season.
I think so. I think we found combinations that certainly work. I think it was good to see that we got everybody involved in the game tonight. I know that Smitty got a number of shifts. It's something I talked about him with during the week. I want him to stay engaged and keep working on his game. And the only way, you know, in practice, I think that Smitty does a fantastic job, and the only way he's going to develop his game is if he gets some ice time out there and play in real time. And probably a little bit nervous about making an error tonight, or he was keeping his shift short, but his confidence is going to grow with the more ice time that he gets. And that's the same with, young Boesa. He's a pretty firm fan favorite here, and you can see by the energy that he brings. And, so we tried him with a few other lines tonight. We lost Kyle Just to equipment issue early in the first. And, those guys jumped seamlessly into the lineup. So I think it's great that, we have Barry, Jordo, and Smitty, all guys capable of playing in our lineup, and they're getting the opportunity.
Moving on to tomorrow, we'll go down to Guildford tomorrow. I mean, it's a fixture that was favourable for us last season, so hope to continue that into this season.
Yeah, well, it's a team that did incredibly well in our league last year. They've strengthened over the summer, and early on they looked dangerous. We fared incredibly. We couldn't have asked for any better than the season series we had against them last year. But it's important to recognize that this is a brand new season. We've seen some crazy results already around this league, and the Guildford Flames are always going to be thereabout. I got a tremendous amount of respect for that organization, harking back to my playing days, and it's going to be one of our strongest challenges this year.
You mentioned there has been some crazy results around the league tonight. Does that give you guys some hope as well that you can take on the Cardiffs, the Belfasts, the Sheffields, Nottinghams, and you can square up to those guys every night?
I don't think hope comes into it. I mean, our dressing room has to believe that we can, or else we're just making up the numbers. We want to compete with all teams in this league, and we've certainly proved that we're capable of it. It's important that as a group we just find that level of consistency that's going to see us through this season and see us stay up in the table where we want to be.